What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. Also, don't forget as well, social media links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's update. We're aiming for 300 likes once more, and also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got no contract news. We're going to dive straight on in with the outs, and we've got a very big update on James McAtee. Now, Jack Gaughan has said that Manchester City's value of James McAtee for this summer remains at £25 million, even with McAtee having just 12 months left on his Manchester City contract. And as we go into tomorrow, it's less than 12 months on his contract. £25 million for a player that's inexperienced is a heck of a lot of money. And Manchester City being able to get hold of £25 million for McAtee this summer, it's going to be very difficult. I would suggest that if City are able to get £25 million, then I think Hugo Viana has done a very, very good job here, because yeah, he's a young, high quality player, but when you've only got 1 year left on your contract and you've got a player who's got not all that much experience, then £25 million, it's just a heck of a lot of money. I'd say between 10 and £20 million is probably the fee I think that would be more realistic. I mean, it's fine for Man City to be putting ceiling value set at £25 million. I just don't think the total package, once this transfer does get sorted this summer, will be at £25 million. But we'll have to wait and see. As I said, I feel like 10 to £20 million is far more realistic, especially with Manchester City looking for a sell-on clause and buyback fee to be included on this transfer, as confirmed by Jack Gaughan, and normally that means a club would be looking to negotiate and try and pay less on the transfer fee. So I would give Hugo Viana 11 out of 10 for this transfer if City get £25 million along with a sell-on clause and a buyback clause included on this as well. There are some Premier League interest in James McAtee now that the under-21 European Championships have come to a head and they're done and dusted. So the player will go out on holiday, and it'll be up to Manchester City over the next 3 to 4 weeks to try and get a deal in place and sorted. As of right now, McAtee isn't under contract renewal talks with Manchester City, and because of that, it does mean that James McAtee more than likely will be leaving with just 12 months left on his contract. He's not gone to the Club World Cup. I can't see how James McAtee stays at Manchester City this summer. The question is, where's he going to end up, and what is the transfer fee going to be? As I said, there are Premier League interest in James McAtee, but there's also a lot of interest coming in from Germany. We've had a bit of conflicting reports when it comes to German clubs being interested in James McAtee, because I know for a fact that both Stuttgart and Bayer Leverkusen, whose name's been chucked out there a heck of a lot when it comes to James McAtee, they're not going to and don't want to pay £25 million for McAtee. And so if there's a club out there who's willing to maybe spend a little bit more, they could leapfrog everybody and become the club that's most serious about signing McAtee. As of right now, I'm not aware that it's anything more than interest coming in from Bayer Leverkusen and also Stuttgart, but there is strong interest coming in from Eintracht Frankfurt, RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund, who are all monitoring James McAtee's situation at Manchester City. So this is one of a few homegrown players that Manchester City need to try and sort out. Obviously, McAtee, a homegrown player and a homegrown player by the club. Manchester City do meet the quotas for both the Premier League and Champions League, even with the sale of James McAtee, so he doesn't necessarily need to be replaced at the club, and I could argue and suggest that he's already been replaced with a couple of the players that have been brought in this summer, including that of Rayan Cherki, who's potentially going to be playing either on the flanks or behind the striker. So I just don't see James McAtee staying at Manchester City. He doesn't need to be replaced, so it's just a very simple transfer of a fee being agreed and James McAtee completing the transfer. So it's all about who's going to make them bids and how much a club's willing to pay, because it's all fine and well clubs being interested and monitoring McAtee, but what we want now is concrete interest and offers coming in, and I think that's something that City have really struggled on in this first 30 days of this transfer window, in particular when it comes to the sales, because Manchester City just haven't got that much concrete offers in for the players that they're looking to try and get rid of. Kyle Walker, no offers in. Obviously James McAtee, no offers in. Jack Grealish, they want to sell him, no offers are in. Calvin Phillips, they want to sell him, no offers coming in. So City have got to be working really hard over the next couple of weeks to try and get these player sales sorted. In an ideal world, by the time the Club World Cup comes to an end and hopefully Manchester City can win the Club World Cup, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time that would be the case, that City could at least have some agreements in place so we kind of look or know what the squad is going to look like in terms of players leaving the club, and we know then about what the rest of this window is going to look like as we head towards the start of the Premier League season, because July, it can be a real funny month when it comes to the transfer window, and if it continues over the next 2 to 4 weeks of being really quiet, Manchester City could have some real big problems on their hands when it comes to reducing the size of their squad, because it's already too big right now, and it does mean then that Manchester City don't really have the ball in their own court, they don't have control of the player sales, and all of a sudden Manchester City will be accepting either a lower fee than what they may be looking for, or even a worst case scenario where Manchester City don't end up securing the transfers for these players and they get desperate towards the end of the window, and buying clubs do know that that will happen, and then they'll be looking for a better deal for them, either them paying less or going out on loan, and purchase options end up becoming options to buy rather than obligations to buy, and it just offers a lot of complications. That's why Kyle Walker's still a Manchester City player. I've heard rumours flickering around that Kyle Walker has flown to America to be around his Manchester City teammates, but I know that he's not got a future at Manchester City. He's been told to find a new club. I'm not expecting him to be part of the Manchester City squad, but these homegrown players, we have the homegrown spot, so we can select them if we want to. It's just, I just don't really see why we do that, if I'm being completely honest. So I just feel like City could do a lot more when it comes to the player sales, and I'm hoping that Man City have just been a little bit quiet because they've been resting and taking it easy because of the relentless start to this window, and I imagine that at some point over the next week or so that Manchester City will be pushing hard to try and get through some of these player sales, and I'd go as far to say I think James McAtee probably the easiest of them, but I do think clubs are going to think £25 million with a buyback clause and a sell-on clause as well, probably going to be a little too expensive for any team, in particular German teams who don't necessarily have all that much money. So we'll wait and see what does happen with regards to that. Moving on, we've got the latest on Kevin de Bruyne and also Scott Carson and also Tai Sodje as well. It's all three of them players' last day as a Manchester City player today. They will be released from their contract at midnight tonight, British summer time, and their contracts will expire. It means that both Kevin de Bruyne, Scott Carson and Tai Sodje will no longer be Manchester City players as confirmed by the Premier League. These three players being released by Manchester City. Kevin de Bruyne off to Napoli, of course, and he will officially be a Napoli player after midnight tonight. I'm still waiting on what Scott Carson's going to do for his future and what's going to happen with youngster Tai Sodje as well. But regardless, best of luck to the three lads for the future, and I'm wishing them nothing but greatness and success. Now moving on to the ins, we've got a quick update on a new name, comes in the form of Ethan Fullen. Now Fabrizio Romano has said that the 14-year-old attacker plays for Newcastle's under-15 side, a very highly rated prospect. He's set to make a move to the Manchester City Academy from the Newcastle United Academy. The final details on this transfer are being sorted, but it's going to be another top quality player coming into the Manchester City Academy, and another homegrown talent coming to the CFA as well. So just waiting for the final formalities to be sorted on that transfer, and Fulham then will become a Manchester City player. It is believed that it will be compensation being played, because we're looking here at obviously a youth contract, becoming still a youth contract at Manchester City as well, but definitely a name to keep an eye out on over the coming years, and keeping an eye on his development as well. So hopefully that will get sorted ASAP, and I'll be able to give further clarification and announce Ethan as a Manchester City player for the academy. So that has been today's transfer update. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 300 likes. Also don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. Also don't forget as well, social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you guys religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.